Greetings! Iain from RTO here. Welcome to the beginning of another week. After a rather busy weekend here in the UK, we had a thing called a coronation. Yes. Bit of history, you know. I love my history and it was really enjoyable to watch. So, we're going to do the script today. Now, the script was a reviewer's request and it was lurking in the about halfway down the list to be done, but sadly on the 14th of April, lead guitarist of the band Mark Sheehan sadly passed away at the age of 46. So we decided to do it at the earliest convenient time, and this was it. So the script: Irish band formed in Dublin in 2001 by vocalist, keyboardist and guitarist Danny O'Donoghue, lead guitarist Mark Sheehan and drummer Glenn Power. They moved to London like most Irish bands do, and the rest is history, as I say. The script's music, though, has been featured in so many TV shows and films. Things like 90210, The Ghost Whisperer used their music, The Hills, Waterloo Road, a BBC programme, EastEnders, Made in Chelsea, The Vampire Diaries, and frontman Danny also was a coach in the first two series of the UK Voice. They have won 3 Meteor Island Music Awards and 2 Worldwide Music Awards and received 2 Brit nominations. They have sold over 20 million albums, which is fantastic. So it's always been the three of Danny Donoghue, Mark Sheehan and Glenn Power. So they've released 6 albums. Now, I must admit, I'm not very keen on their later stuff at all. They become more of a boy band sound than an Irish rock band, which I'm not keen on that sound. But there are 1 or 2 highlights on all the albums that, you know, still sound what, yeah, well, that's the script. So, coming in at number 6, we have the 6th and current album. It was released in 2019 and it is called Sunsets and Full Moons. First track on this one is called Something Unreal. It's not too bad. The sound, as I said, has totally changed since they started. It's not too bad. It's a really nice vocal, but it's just not my thing. Next track is called The Last Time. It's got a really nice keyboard sound on it, and some nice guitar from Mark. It's not too bad. Run Through Walls. It sounds more like a boy band sound than a rock band. Too poppy for me. Not a great fan of that song. If You Don't Love Yourself. Got a great guitar solo on here from Mark. Very underrated guitar player. I always liked his approach to guitar playing. Some nice pieces on that. Not too bad. Hurt People Hurt comes up next. Again, it's too boy band sound, generic pop. I just can't get on it. Same All the Time. It's not too bad. Still got that boy band element. It's got some nice delicate touches there on the guitar. It's not too bad. Underdog. I just don't like this track at all. It is just too poppy. Let me get The Hurt Game. I just found this too one-dimensional and plastic, I'm afraid. But the last track, Hot Summer Nights, is probably the best one on the album. I like Danny's vocal. He's a very good singer. I won't take that away from him. He can sing, but I just don't like the direction they went in. But this is pretty good. Sad this was Mark's last album. I don't know what's going to happen now. It's just a case of watch this space. But the album is just so far away from how they started. So I shall give this one an RTO ranking of 2 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 5, we have the 5th album that was released in 2017. It's called A Freedom Child. First track on here is called No Man Is an Island. It's still poppy, but the harmonising of these three guys is terrific. They can sing, I'll give them that, but it's just that I'm not into this poppy sound that they have developed. Rain, I just hate the drumming on it. It's not very good. I just don't like that track. Open Arms, don't mind this one, although it's still got that poppy element to it. It's a catchy tune, and there's nothing not wrong with it. Rock the World, well, I found the last two Script albums not much originality. Every track sort of sounds the same, and this one's very much in the vein. It's got nothing there that sticks out for us. Mad Love, the worst song that they ever Script recorded. It's just too dancey, poppy. Deliverance, again, it's very dancey. Divided the States of America, I like this track. It's one of the better tracks on the album. Nice arrangement actually for a pop song. I think that one worked. Wonders, it's just very plastic, one-dimensional. Love Not Lovers, Mark's guitar is pretty good on this. But it just ends up being a pop song. If they'd carried on with that sort of guitar sound and that thing, it may have been alright. Eden, again, it's just non-memorable. They all sound the same on this album. Makeup, they've gone into rap and it just isn't right. Written for the Scars. No, I don't like that track over. And then we get 47 seconds of Nothing Called Awakening. Freedom thing, it's alright. Again, I just don't like this sound that they've done. It's unfortunately, but that's how the cookie crumbles, as I say. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 3 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 4. It's the third album released in 2012, and it's just basically called Number 3. First track on here is called Good Old Days. I like this track. It's still got bits of rock into it, so it's not too bad. Some great guitar work from Mark. The drumming from on here is pretty good as well from Glenn. Not a bad track to open up the album. Then we get 60 Degrees of Separation. Nice singing on this. Lovely vocal from Danny. I like that one. Then we got Hall of Fame featuring will.i.am. I wonder if he got involved with this because he's a judge on The Voice with Danny, but it's rubbish. I don't like it. Not a fan of will.i.am, although I think he's a good judge and a decent singer. I just don't like the style of music that he does. If You Could See Me Now, again, sounds more like a boy band than a rock band. Glowing, they sound more like Westlife here. Now, I played a Westlife track and thought, oh dear, never mind. Give Love a Round, it's not too bad. It's got a nice melody to it, I'll say that. Broken Arrow, again, nice melody but nothing memorable. Then we get Kaleidoscope. This is the best track on here. It's one of my favourite tracks on the album. It's got a really nice guitar work on this. Pretty solid track. No words. Like the track, but I'm not keen on the style, but I appreciate the workmanship on that one. Millionaires. Don't mind this track. Pretty good. Got little bits of highlights of some nice keyboards in there as well. For me, this is the album when I sort of went, oh dear. This is not what I expected, but it has got some good songs on this, and I'll give this one an RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Okay, then coming in at number 3, we have the fourth album released in 2014, No Sound Without Silence. A first track on here. It's called No Good in Goodbye. I think this is good. It's a really good pop song. I do like this one. If they got it right on that one, it's a really good track. Superheroes, again, it's not very memorable. Then we got Man on a Wire. This is a nice pop song. It's got a really nice melody to it, and the vocals are really good. Danny sings that really well. It's an absolutely great little pop song. I don't mind that one at all. It's Not Right for You, very generic pop. The Energy Never Dies. It's just a very modern pop song, and this is what I don't like about modern music. It's got everything I don't like about it on there. Flares, a really good song. It's got a really nice feel to it. It is a good pop song. Army of Angels, it's just again a bit of a poppy song, but yeah, it works if you like your pop. Never Seen Anything Quite Like You, very Celtic, which was good. I like that track a lot. Paint the Green Town, another Celtic song. I like this one. It's my favourite track on the album. Without Those Songs, a really strong track. Again, it's more rock. Great vocal from Danny. Hail, Rain or Sunshine. Again, it's got a bit more rock element to it. Really good track to end the album. Now, this album is an album of two. The first bit's poppy, and they're not too bad. I can listen to them, but the last few tracks, it's got that Celtic feel to it. They've gone back to sort of their roots, and I quite like this album. It's probably the guilty pleasure album of the Script catalogue for me. So the combination, it's got some rock in it, it's poppy, and I shall give this one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, then, coming in at number 2, we have the debut album, and it's called The Script, and it was released in 2008. First track on this one is called We Cry. Really like this. It's got a nice sound to it. The guitar work from Mark's good, and it's a great vocal from Danny. Terrific track. Before the Worst reminds me of a Madness sort of style song, and I really like this one. It's certainly got that sort of, the sound that we know that I love, Madness. It's very, very similar. Then we get Talk Down. Again, a really solid song. Some nice arrangements on there. The keyboards and guitar sound brilliant. Then we get The Man Who Can't Be Moved. Now, this is probably my favourite track by The Script. I just love Mark's guitar work on it. Fantastic. Break Even, very solid track again. Some great guitar. Great vocals on this album. Love that track. Then we got Rusty Halo. I love the bass line on this. Reminds me of the sort of thing that the Police did in their later career of Synchronicity. Really good track. I like that. Then we get the End Where I Begin. Love the vocal from Danny on here. Fantastic. Fall for Anything. It's pretty solid track. Nice playing by the boys. Really good vocal from Danny again. If You See K, don't mind that one. And then I Am Yours, probably Mark's best guitar work on the album. Really solid song. Great track. I really like listening to this album. I remember when it came out, and I just was sort of drawn into Sheehan's guitar playing. It's got that poppy edge, but it's still got a rock root. So I shall give this an RTO ranking of 6.5. So my number one album, and it's one I do play a lot, and it's the one I really play the most. It's the second album released in 2010, Science and Faith. First track on here is called You Won't Feel a Thing. Really good track. This is a cross between the Manic Street Preachers and the Stereophonics. It's got that sort of mix, and that's probably why I like this track. It's really got a good beat. Great track. For the first time, a really good track. Love Mark's guitar work on this. Very, very strong track. This is the first sort of poppy sound that sort of crept in. It's not too bad though. Science and Faith. Interesting drum beats here from Glenn, but it really adds to the track. It gives it a bit more depth and a little bit more. It's a bit poppy, but with that drumming, it sort of gives it the depth and makes you go, ooh, that's pretty impressive. Then we get If You Ever Come Back. Rapping. Stop rapping. Sing. Stop it. Worst track on the album. Long Gone and Moved On. Don't mind this track. One of the best on the album. Again, it reminds me very much of the Stereophonics, Manic Street Preachers sound. I like that track a lot. Dead Man Walking. Yeah, solid track. I do like that. This Equals Love, sorry. You get a lot of Glenn's drumming on this. It's really good. I remember this on the radio quite a lot. Then Walk Away was just not my cup of tea. Exit Wounds. Very solid track again. Nice sound to it. Nice hooky catch. Melody. Excellent. As I said, of all the Script albums, I always found this one that's got the most songs I like on it. I'm not a great lover of this band. They sort of got worse for me. Even this way they go, but the first two albums are pretty good. I really like this album, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, there we go then. There's a little tribute to Mark Sheehan, who sadly passed away in April. Very good guitarist and very underrated. I just don't know what's going to happen to the band now, if they're going to continue or go their separate ways. Okay, I'll be back later with another classic album, and we're going to go to the 70s. No, we're not going to the 60s. This came out in the 60s, and it's the debut album by the band, and it's called Music from the Big Pink, which is an excellent album. So that's our classic album today. So we'll see you for that later. Bye for now.